Now back to Inside West Virginia Politics with Mark Curtis.
And welcome back to Inside West Virginia Politics. Let's continue our discussion of the now completed brief special session here in West Virginia. Joining us right now is Delegate Mike Pushkin, Democrat of Kanawha County. Good to have you on the program again.
Thank you for having me on.
We've heard from the House Speaker already about what his agenda is going forward. First of all, the one issue that's near and dear to your heart that I want to wrap up is the vertical integration bill for the state's medical cannabis program. What happened and where do we go next?
The bill that we passed during the regular session that addressed, first, the most important thing it did, it allowed for these companies to be vertically integrated. It allowed for someone who holds the license to be a grower and a processor to also own a dispensary. That bill was vetoed, and what we were able to do is go back and address the problems that the governor's office had with the bill and fix it, and then pass it again with about 81 votes, I believe.
And the governor's office was concerned about some tax issues. I'm not going to go into the specifics on the taxes, but it's all sorted out. And basically the goal of this was to allow companies, whether they be based within West Virginia, because I believe over half of them have to be, or companies that may come from without, if they're going to make a big investment in this cannabis program, they really have to do all three functions, right?
Well, that's another thing you brought up. Half of the ownership had to be West Virginia residents. That's something new. That was what was in the bill that we just addressed, and I think that's important because we want, for the money to stay here in West Virginia, and we want it to help, support West Virginia schools and our infrastructure here in West Virginia. We want that money to stay here. But the most important thing that the bill did, like I said, it allowed for the vertically integrated licenses. Now, the problem that addresses is really from a federal level, that the IRS does not allow dispensaries to make business deductions. So a dispensary, a standalone dispensary, would wind up getting taxed at about 70% of their gross margin. I don't know of any business that can survive like that. So the remedy to that is, with vertical integration, is that the business deductions can be made at the grower level, at the processing level, and that's how those businesses will be able to survive.
And we should be frank with our viewers, because medical cannabis products are supposed to be available as of July 1st of this year. That's not going to happen. We're hearing at least a year, maybe 2 years out.
Yeah, I saw there was a statement from the DHHR that said it could possibly be as long as October of 2021. I think that we really need to get our act together and expedite this thing, because there are West Virginians who are suffering from the numerous conditions that are listed in that law that they need relief now, and we really need to pick up the pace and get those licenses out.
All right, let's change topics to the big white elephant in the room, education reform.
Yes.
A number of bills have been put forward in the Senate. The House Speaker has divided the House basically into 4 25-member committees to study. I mean, what's the bottom line here? What would your caucus like to see done as far as education reforms in the special session coming in June?
Well, I mean, I like to stay open-minded, and I'm willing to work on anything as long as it really is for the betterment of our kids, for the future of this state. I'm willing to work on anything that's going to help the kids in the public schools of this state get the best education they can get, the best education in the country. That's what I think we can all agree on. We have different views on how to go about it. They said we divided the House recently into 4 different education committees. I'm not sure I really understand why we're doing that. We have an education committee. I mean, one could guess that some of the more controversial provisions in Senate Bill 451 couldn't make it through the House Education Committee. So in essence, it looks like leadership in the House divided us all into 4 different education committees, and I hope this isn't the reason, but it appears that that some of the committees are stacked with folks who are more likely to vote for some of the controversial measures in 451, and some of the committees have the no votes all in the same committee. So I hope this isn't just an end around on the committee process.
We're down to a minute. What would be the top 2 or 3 priorities from your caucus in terms of what gets done with education? Is it teacher pay? Is it mental health services? Is it classroom flexibility? Talk about that.
It's all of those things. We've actually introduced 8 bills already. I haven't seen a bill yet from leadership, from the Republicans, but we've actually introduced 8 bills in the House and 8 bills in the Senate. We would like to focus on reducing class size, more local flexibility, wraparound mental health services, because we know that the state's suffering from a horrible drug epidemic, and that's the effects of that is showing up now in our schools. And I think we should need to address a standalone pay raise bill, because a couple weeks before the general election in 2018, the governor and the Republican leadership in the House and the Senate, they promised the teachers a pay raise, and they haven't been able to produce on that yet.
All right, we'll keep an eye on it. We're looking maybe early June for another session specifically on
That's
education.
what we're hearing. Yeah.
We thank Delegate Mike Pushkin, Democrat of Kanawha County. Adrian Robbins will be back with more on Inside West Virginia Politics after this break. Stay with us.